know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Hope of the Living Dead.
Unanimously hated by fans.
Really?
I thought like the wrestling community would be like, this movie's cool, but even the wrestling community hates this fucking movie.
Well, I looked up some shit about it too. Like, they continued this after.
Yeah, they did some questionable decisions.
Well, I don't really like. I never watched WCW. I watched WWE.
I watched both.
WWF more.
I was a WCW guy. I loved Sting. Sting was my favorite wrestler.
So you like gushed as soon as he came out on this movie.
I mean, Sting would always come from the rafters and like beat people with the bat. That was like his thing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He would have some epic like matches with Hollywood Hogan.
I really don't remember too much from wrestling. I know it, like I watched a ton of WWF growing up, and my cousins watched a lot of wrestling too. So they had those like rings with like the little like action figures, and they also had like pillows that were like
a couple of those
like body shapes. So you would just wrestle the shit out of them.
Gay.
It was fun, but I don't really remember
the original waifu pillow.
Right? Except it had a dude on it.
Dude, it's just fucking stone cold smooth head. Oh man. Dude, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. The nostalgia of this movie definitely was at the forefront of my grade for this movie.
Facts.
Because it was like you were saying, like with not remembering shit, like watching this movie just like blasted me with like memories of like watching wrestling with my cousin and fucking playing with the like action figures and being like all into WCW. Like, because my grandpa to this day still watches wrestling. That dude loves wrestling.
Damn.
So we used to get together and like get the pay-per-view sometimes and just like watch so like I fucking love this shit.
All wrestling is the storylines get kind of crazy, but like they include everybody in it, you know, like they include the audience. Like
the fucking Attitude Era in WWF was a wild time to be a wrestling fan, dude.
Didn't that happen?
Just getting benched for telling your fucking the like yard duty to suck it and just doing like the fucking just getting like having no recess for a week.
Fucking D-Generation X.
Yeah, D-Generation X, dude. Holy fuck. Just doing it all over the playground to everybody. Boom, he's getting in trouble constantly.
I remember playing handball and winning a match and then just doing suck it.
Yeah.
And the next person would come in. And
your fucking idol is this bald white man who just chugs beers constantly. Like, that's who I want to be when I grow up.
That's why I deal with alcoholism now.
All right, let's get into the movie. So, if you guys are wondering why we're talking about wrestling, this week we are covering the 2000s film Ready to Rumble. This movie's like entirely backed and takes place within like the WCW. For our younger listeners, it was a competing wrestling network that competed with the WWE at the time, was called the WWF. As always, I am your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And Twan.
What up?
Quick reminder for first-time listeners and returning listeners, we are a cult movie podcast. We cover cult classics, B-movies, and horror. All these opinions are subjective. None of us are academically trained in film critique, and enjoy the ride. All right, Ready to Rumble, a nostalgia blast of the past for anybody who was born in like the late 80s, early 90s, and you watched wrestling. Literally everybody from the WCW I felt like was in this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And even the director, Brian Robbins, looking at his IMDb, dude, I've seen all these movies. He did Hardball, the fucking Keanu Reeves movie about baseball and like the inner city youth. That movie rocked.
Yep.
He did Varsity Blues, another good sports movie, and Good Burger.
Random.
Right? All these like fucking like cult movies, except for Norbert. That movie fucking sucked. The
Well,
writer was
wait,
Stephen Brill.
he's also now the CEO of Paramount Pictures.
What?
Oh wow.
I did not know that.
Talk
He's the
about
CEO.
failing upwards, brother.
Hey, dude, all these movies are pretty good except for Norbert. None of them were critically acclaimed, but
Yeah.
they're enjoyable. I think actually Varsity Blues actually got pretty good ratings. And I tried watching Good Burger too, and I was like, oh man, I'm not like 7 anymore. This shit ain't hitting anyway. So it's not really that funny. It was written by Stephen Brill, who wrote Little Nicky, the Mighty
Hey.
Duck series, and Heavyweights.
Nice.
Nice.
Love all those movies.
Okay. Yeah. Little
Heavyweights.
Nicky's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies.
That movie's funny. It's so offensive, but it's funny as fuck. I love the movie Heavyweights. I think that's like an underrated like kids movie about just a bunch of kids that go to fat camp, and like Ben Stiller's just like this unhinged fucking like
He's the
fitness
fucking
guy.
Globo Gym guy.
Yeah, that's right. He's funny in that movie. Oh, and then the music was by George S. Clinton, who did the Mortal Kombat and Austin Powers series.
Like the old Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, like the 90s one.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a good resume.
This is like the 90th cast ever, or the 90th like group ever. Oh man. All right. So we got our cast. We got David Arquette, who plays Gordy Boggs. He was
Definitely
in
on the spectrum.
Scream, Never Been Kissed, Eight-Legged Freaks. We have Oliver Platt, who plays Jimmy King. You probably know him best as playing what's his name? The uncle in The Bear.
Yeah.
Isn't his name also
shit.
Jimmy in that one?
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, he's Uncle Jimmy in The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give this to Oliver Platt. He does not look that different from The Bear that he does now. I'm like, dude, that dude aged. Either he aged well or he just always looked old. Now I'm going to say he aged well because he doesn't look that old in The Bear. But that's like
Yeah.
a 25-year difference. I was like, dude, they look pretty similar.
Yeah.
He was also in The Three Musketeers. He was on Chicago Med forever. And then we have Sean Dawkins, who's played by Scott Conn, who plays Sean Dawkins. He was in Ocean's 11, Gone in 60 Seconds, Varsity Blues, and most recently he was on the remake of Hawaii Five-0.
Crazy. I haven't seen him in anything, but I feel like I saw him in a ton of stuff back in like early 2000s. I guess it's just the Ocean's movies.
Well, he had like a lot of small roles. Like he was in Oceans, he had a small role. Well, he's always like a supporting guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did TV for a while. Like he was on Hawaii Five-0, I think it was like 5 seasons.
Was he a lead?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a lead. It was him
cool.
and the Korean dude from Lost.
Oh, nice.
And then now he's on another TV series that I think just got renewed for its 3rd season.
Okay, that's cool.
Then he was on Entourage a lot. If you ever watched Entourage.
Is that the one on
Entourage.
HBO?
Yeah.
Mm.
Then we have Rose McGowan, who plays Sasha. She was in Charmed, Planet Terror. I used to have a big time crush on Rose McGowan back in the day.
Same.
And then Joe Pantoliano plays Titus Sinclair. I know him most from being in The Matrix as Cypher.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Not
He's
like
also
this.
in Memento and the Bad Boy series. And our last guy is Martin Landau, who plays Sal Bandini. Want to wrestle?
Hmm.
He was in Ed Wood. He plays Bela Lugosi. He does a great job in that movie. And North by
Ed
Northwest.
Wood still on our wheel.
It's a good movie, man. Good movie. It's a good Johnny Depp movie.
And then we have all your favorite
And then a million fucking wrestlers in this movie.
all your favorite wrestlers. We got Goldberg in there, played by Goldberg.
DDP,
Booker
aka
T.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Sting,
Yeah,
played
Booker
by
T.
Sting.
Rey
Everybody.
Mysterio's in it.
Everybody's
Macho
in it.
Man.
Wait, Rey Mysterio was in it?
Yeah, he's in the wrestling with Macho Man, the like convenience store guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of
Okay.
those guys.
Nice.
There's a guy named Saturn. I don't know who Saturn is, but Saturn's played by Saturn. He's a wrestler.
He's the bald dude with the mustache. He like attacks Sal Bandini. He's like one of the Diamond Dallas Page's goons.
Mm.
Oh,
I think the main two wrestlers are Goldberg and and Diamond Dallas Page though. Everyone else is
Yeah.
kind of like cameo. Diamond Dallas Page is like the main bad guy, which I think is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Also, John Cena has an uncredited role in this movie as a gym rat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
he's just chilling in the background.
Just lifting weights.
He's always been there.
It's his
Just can't
fir-
see him.
It's his first like role. I didn't see him. I couldn't see him. Were you guys ever John Cena guys?
Nah,
Yeah.
I was done with wrestling by then.
Yeah, same.
I
He
kinda
came
was.
out after like The Rock and like Stone Cold kind of
Mm-hmm.
went in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't like John Cena. I wasn't a John Cena guy.
I guess recently
we had
he,
Kurt Angle.
I was a big Undertaker guy. I think I was
Ooh.
like the last person I rooted for.
Yeah, I liked Undertaker and Kane.
Kane is sick.
I guess John Cena recently in whatever WWE match just happened.
They turned heel.
He turned heel. He went rogue, or he didn't go rogue, but he he did some bad stuff. We're now in John Cena's villain era.
A lot of people were mad about it
Yeah,
because he swore he would never turn heel, and then he turned heel.
you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Facts.
I don't remember where that one movie that's from. Oh,
From The
Dark
Dark Knight,
Knight.
isn't it?
yeah, Michael Caine says it.
Cocaine.
Why you gotta say it like that?
That's how he talks. He has like an H on all his A's. Oh man! All right. So, what's your guys' history with this movie? Have you guys seen it before?
Yeah, I saw it maybe like once or twice when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've seen it. Well, I saw it a bunch when I was a kid, when I was into wrestling. This movie was one that I had. I've seen it a lot. Used to like it as a kid. Haven't seen it since being a child.
I saw it a lot as a teenager. I don't remember it as a kid. Maybe it's one of those films my parents wouldn't let me watch, but I saw like late middle school, early high school, and I thought this movie was great. Used to go around crowning people all the time.
Yeah.
There was one
it's
summer where I think
brutal.
all my homies, we like discovered it, saw it together for the first time, so we just started like fucking when no one suspected it. It was just like crown him, just boom, just hit someone in the back of the head. Oh man, yeah, a lot of people got injured that summer. Ooh, I heard Twan said he used to like it. A little foreshadowing.
Oh,
When I used to like wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
trying to predict. And will anything dethrone Repo Man?
Oh, dude.
It's the
Ooh.
worst
I
movie
don't
of all
think
time.
so. I don't think so. I think Repo Man, yeah. You can put
I'm
it on the
gonna-
list.
I'm gonna look.
Worst movie all time.
I'm gonna search worst cult classic movies, and then I'm just gonna start slowly adding them to our list.
Just copy and paste like a whole list on there. I forgot how wrestling forward this movie is, like right from the jump. Like the opening credits is just like a whole history of wrestling.
Yeah,
It's called
Like-
Ready to Rumble. Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. I forgot about like how they just like fucking wrestle throughout the entire movie. Like the whole
Yeah.
like fucking David Arquette's character having like a fucking like brain freeze and just imagining himself like beating the shit out of like the like convenience store worker.
Yeah.
and I like that when he does it too. The whole store becomes a ring.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Like-
was cool.
Like they custom made a ring and then put up the aisles of the fucking convenience store in there. The shit was so hilarious.
I appreciated that.
It was a nice touch.
I love how everyone looks like a wrestler in this movie except for Jimmy King.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, how
Yeah.
did this guy become like the face of wrestling? He's not like built at all.
I mean, he's kind of like, he's shaped like Mankind.
I guess that's true.
Mankind was kind of like burly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He was kind of burly, huh?
What is this dude going on about? Breathe.
Mankind. Just remembered Mankind.
Oh,
That guy was great.
Mhm.
what was his
Sacco?
fucking Mr. Sacco?
Mhm.
He was kept
Oh,
in his
he
junk.
was someone else too, though, wasn't he? He was Cactus Jack.
He was Cactus Jack too.
Cactus Jack, Mankind.
And then he was also
Yeah, there was the third one.
well, he was like a hippie guy.
Dude Love.
Dude love.
Dude Love.
Yeah.
They were known as the three faces of Foley.
Yeah. But
All three characters appeared in the 1998 Royal Rumble. Dude, that's so crazy. That means he got dressed, wrestled.
dude, Mick Foley was a maniac, dude. I used to love him, dude. And all three guys are so different, like the way he would act depending on who he came out as.
Dude. So, I wonder how many times he lost or how many times he won.
Like, what's his
Well-
ratio?
Well, he had
Yeah.
to go. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about this Royal Rumble because if all three characters appeared,
Nah, he just
Well,
won. He's just
that
fighting himself.
that means
Yeah.
two of them probably lost, and then he came in as the third one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Royal Rumble, that's when like all of them, right?
Mhm.
Or like it's
Yeah.
a big wrestling match. So
Yeah.
this guy would have had to go in, lose, go back, change, come back out, lose again, change, then come back out. That's dedication.
Dedication to the craft.
I
So you get
remember
3 paychecks?
yeah,
Damn.
maybe.
I would hope
remember
so.
the Hell in a Cell match against the Undertaker. That one was a crazy one.
With him and Mankind?
Him and Mankind, yeah. Undertaker
was
versus
crazy.
Mankind. That one was cool. That
Because
was,
it was like the fight of the two like maniacs.
mhm,
Is that the one where he fucking chokeslammed him from the top, right?
mhm,
Yeah.
He threw him off the top
yeah.
Yep.
of the cage. Yeah, that was
That was crazy. I remember when people were like, wrestling's fake. I'm like, I don't care what's at the bottom of that. There's no way that shit didn't fucking hurt, dude.
Yeah.
Like that fool fell from like a distance.
choke slamming someone off of like the second story.
Yeah, dude. Look, it's putting your
it's
life on the
it's
line.
fake. Yeah, dude. I just saw someone get thrown off the roof.
Yeah, pretty much. Onto like a gym pad. Oh man.
I like how this movie kind of plays with that too.
Oh yeah, I love that it takes the like fake aspect
Mhm.
and like they're like, oh no, they're fighting for real.
Yeah. And you can see like where like in the first match that the King is, they're like talking to each other and they're talking about like what moves they're gonna do next.
Yeah.
And then it switches and he's like, no, this is like an actual fight. And then he starts beating the shit out of him. That was it's a good switch. I wonder if that happens, like if that, you know, during these like plot lines in WWE and WWF, where like sometimes they won't tell the individual who's gonna get like iced out, like
Yeah.
this is gonna happen. But you just have to like roll with it. You
So
know?
I'm sure.
I guess that whole scene was based off of a fight between not Owen Hart, Bret Hart and what's his name? What's his name? Fucking the guy who would like kick you in the face. He had
Kick you in the
He had
face?
like really long hair. And he was like, oh, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michael.
The Heartbreak Kid.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess seeing Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, like Bret Hart was supposed to win, but then like Shawn Michaels went off script and like he won the title. And like so that's what this whole movie was like based on.
Hmm.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, I guess it does happen. Imagine like it's supposed to be a fake kick to the face, and then Shawn Michaels legitimately just kicks you in the face,
Yeah,
just knocks you out for reals.
for real.
This fucking dude putting his finger up his ass and then handing him a slushie to get a free slushie.
It's a pro move.
It's such a fucking unhinged thing to do
And he makes them smell it multiple times.
multiple times.
Also, why was he smelling it for so long? I feel like if the first time I smell something weird, maybe I'll go in for a second smell. But even then, it's not like a big like. This guy
He
was
he was wafting it in.
inhaling the finger.
He was fucking wafting it in.
Yeah, to
He
make
was
sure.
He was embarrassed that he liked it.
Hmm.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I can't think of any other reason why you would just take that many whiffs.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all know what ass smells like.
This was like a
What the
divorced
butt-
white woman at a fucking at a candle shop.
Taking the biggest of whiffs.
Just getting it all in. Smelling those fucking pains away. Ah, freedom. Chamomile vanilla. Ugh. Also,
Honeysuckle.
his dad just abusing the badge, just arresting civilians like on the regs. Isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's illegal to arrest your own son with no cause.
Who's gonna report him? His son?
I guess that's true, huh? I guess that's true.
It felt like they were like small town people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
he was a state trooper, so I don't know. That's like a
and then
I know
later on,
that's a prominent like police force.
his sister shoots somebody.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just doing a job.
Just doing a job.
I even wrote that down. I'm like, God damn. Y'all just imagine coming home from work and just everyone just pulls a gun on you. That's for no reason at all. Oh man. Yeah, that family was fucked in the head for sure.
Typically, have to be driving around for someone to do that to me.
Typically. Yeah. Shit, I was walking around the house just going for a walk and PD like flashed the light on us and we're like, the fuck?
In your hometown?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just walking down the street, just going for a little walk around the block. And then, you know, they have those the spotlights, searchlights. They shined it on us, and we like looked, and it was like they turned it off and just like drove off. I was like, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. That our hometown hates me. So
Oh
I feel
yeah. Fucking just invisible at night.
That's racist.
Mhm. I love the old lady who's just like a huge Jimmy King fan, and she just gets all decked up in like the leather and the studs.
Dude, she gets all kinky.
She's fucking down with it.
Mm-hmm. She asked for a tight t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right.
The toitest.
That's a toit t-shirt.
Super tight.
I mean,
what does that mean? A small?
She just wants it
extra small.
Probably extra small.
Old lady was tiny.
Yeah.
I should have got her a "What Would King Do" bracelet.
I like how what did he read it? He's like
wicked.
Wicked.
Oh, wicked. Cool.
Cool.
So supportive, dude.
Yeah.
And then what about Sean? Just like dating that one chick, and then like later on just banging the other chick, because he's big pimping like that.
I think because doesn't he realize that chick like doesn't really she's with them anymore. So
yeah, she's lame. She only liked him when she saw him on TV when they fucking jumped Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
Before that, thought he was a fucking loser. I mean, given he does drive a shitmobile, which should be pretty nasty.
But he's a business owner.
That is true.
Have you guys ever been around? Been around when they pump those?
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
Smells loud too.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's loud.
I would be fucked up to just be sitting taking his shit though, and somebody does that to you.
Yeah.
What the suck off part?
Yeah, when he's in the porta potty and he fucking hits the sucker, or he's like mid shit.
I thought he was hitting the air to blow inwards.
No, he was sucking.
No, he was sucking. That'd be fucked up to blow inwards and then all those shit particles just get all over the place. Yeah, that'd be mad fucked up.
Yeah, at first I thought that's what he was going to do. Yeah, they do that in Jackass all the time.
Yeah, they do. I don't want to do anything that they do in Jackass. Those fools fucking maniacs.
Yeah, for real.
They would fucking. I saw the clip the other day. I forgot about where they had Eric Andre and they get that tennis player. She just starts fucking bulleting fucking tennis balls to their nuts. That's just like, what the fuck?
And they all keep hitting Eric Andre.
Oh man, that shit was funny. What'd you guys think of the Nitro Girls? That was a memory unlocked right there. I was like, ooh, I forgot about the dance portions.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's a good roster.
This is a critique in the movie that like I don't know if this is like stupid, but like the whole reason why Rose McGowan's character Sasha like hooks up to be like a mole is so she become like the head Nitro girl. She was the only one in a different color every time. Like, wasn't she already the head Nitro girl?
Yeah, I thought she was.
Yeah, that's like she was the only one in red while everyone else was in white. So I was like, oh, she's the main chick.
Maybe it's to keep her status.
Oh, so she's gonna get replaced like Jimmy King?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Jimmy King's acts real surprised after DDP kicks the living shit out of him. But like he was kind of a mad dickhead to Sinclair. So like I'm not too surprised. Doesn't he tell him he's like, why don't you go like count your money, you midget?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
did.
like yeah, he talked to that fool like that like all the time, and he's like your boss. Like okay,
Bad, and he was also running late, so he obviously doesn't have any like courtesy for the job.
oh that's right, that's right. He's like because then we find out later that he fought Goldberg drunk and then he threw up on him.
Yeah, no, he was his tag team partner.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Yeah,
That shit was funny. He's like, but the crowd loved it.
that would be kind of crazy to see live.
Yeah, fuck yeah, what, dude? It's like a tag team partner who just yaks all over him. They're like, yo, what the fuck? I do like how I thought that was pretty cool when like he's getting fucked up and then Dallas Page's like goons come and they start kicking the shit out of King too. But then King's guys come, you're like, oh shit, they're gonna back him up. But then they start kicking the shit out of him. I'm like, damn, I remember when that shit used to happen in wrestling. You'd be like, no way, the fucking
Yeah.
betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like, damn, the drama, dude. It's like a telenovela.
Yeah, some of the storylines can get pretty in depth when it came to the wrestling.
I mean, Triple H married Vince McMahon's daughter. Like during one segment, I remember.
Yeah, I was
You were there?
there. It was,
was
I
there,
think it was
dude.
at Staples Center.
Damn, you were
Oh, you
live
were
at
there?
that one?
Yeah,
Hell
Damn.
yeah.
Nice.
it was
Got to
like
witness.
one of the only wrestling like live wrestling shows that I ever went to, and
Nice.
that happened.
That's nuts. I remember watching that on TV and being like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
I was like, is that legal? Did that really happen? I also remember too, like, who was the last person I saw where they would put their career on the line? Sometimes they
mean?
would do that. Like Vince McMahon would be like, all right, if you lose this match, you can never wrestle for the WWF again.
I feel like that happened to someone in WWF and they left and they went to WCW. And then
Mhm.
later on, when WCW got bought out, they came back and it was like a whole thing.
Yeah, I remember that happening too.
Yeah.
Those are always fun. Fucking the extra layer of drama.
hmm The original like reality TV show before we got new reality TV.
Before Survivor.
Yeah.
I will say, I was gonna say that's one thing I do love about this movie that I think they do really well is the like wrestling nostalgia aspect.
Yeah, they hit it. They definitely do a good service to like the fans.
Yeah.
Because like once I finished it, like with the movie's out an hour and 42, I felt like it went by pretty fast. And there's not really much story in the movie. Like
What do you mean?
when King is dethroned,
Yeah.
when that part happens, I pause it to get water. That's like 28 minutes of the movie already had passed by.
Yeah,
And that's like the first, but I think actual story that happened in that movie that wasn't like a wrestling montage was like maybe 10 minutes. Like the King match is
Mhm.
pretty long. The whole setup to Sinclair, like that whole, like, it was like basically like a retelling of like an actual like wrestling storyline. And then him wrestling like in the beginning at the convenience store was like 20 minutes of the movie up until that point.
Well, they go on a whole quest to like find Jimmy King though. They like run into
But that quest only lasts like 5 minutes.
yeah,
They like
it's super
leave
fast.
and
Damn.
immediately find that nerdy kid
yeah.
who's like a hacker man kid and like finds where Jimmy King is like immediately.
Yeah.
Like they stop by his wife's and then
And his parents.
his parents, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, those are dead ends." Well, he took their RV. Their RV was last spotted at this area, and then like they find him immediately, and then like he agrees to like get revenge instantly.
Yeah.
Well, not instantly. That fool looked fucking ridiculous in his wig and dress, though. I thought shit was pretty funny.
So that's like it's like never mentioned again, but he just likes doing that, right? Like
No, he owes some people money. He's like a mad degenerate.
is that what he was doing? Is that why he did that? I thought
Yeah.
He was hiding out. Yeah.
He's hiding out.
oh
He's like, I owe some people some money.
yeah. I thought he
I
just
get-
liked doing that. So
He was expecting dudes to come off and he thought they were his like dealers because he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, just leave the stuff there." Like the nerdy dude finds out that he filed for bankruptcy like 3 times or some shit. He owed his wife like child support and alimony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he was like a real not cool dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he stole his parents' like RV.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that his parents are dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. I like how he's like, no, you died in a plane crash. Imagine that though. Somebody fucking telling what your kid's like. You're like, no, that was a fucking piece of shit. He's like, well, you're dead actually. Like, what the fuck? But I do love his character. I love that he was like a belligerent asshole. I thought that was like the funniest part of the movie.
The king?
I thought he was the real highlight.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like David Arquette's character was a little much at times.
He was.
He went for it. He went all out. He really acted like the most obnoxious wrestling fan that you could possibly think of.
I mean, he's like a real life wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's done like cameos on WWF and
Oh shit.
Well, he had a whole
WCW.
he had a whole storyline after this movie where he actually won was it
The
the
title.
heavyweight? Yeah, he won a heavyweight title.
with Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then
So
they
like,
lost it.
They continued hit the story of this
That's like a promotion
into it after. He's
That's
like an
pretty
actual
cool.
wrestling guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a Disney adult, but for wrestling. Although I don't think he was probably that old when this movie came out. I don't know.
29.
He was 29 when this came out?
Yeah.
That's kind of old to be.
Is it? I mean,
Still wrapped up in wrestling?
How old was I don't know, that's like a fine line because aren't like some of these wrestlers like old? Like they were like I feel like Stone Cold Steve Austin when he came out was already like an old man.
I think it was like in his 30s, maybe.
I mean, David Arquette was in his 30s.
I guess that's true. True.
Or do we judge the fans and the actors separately?
No, because if like for sports, nobody cares that like sports and like you're older than a lot of the players.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe because a lot of people think like wrestling as like fake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it's just like entertainment, but it's just like live soap opera with fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's exactly that. It's just entertainment.
And then I love the backstage brawl where they beat the shit out of DDP. I used to love these segments during wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like the backstage interview and then somebody gets like ambushed with like a chair or something.
Ooh, I remember one where Stone Cold, I think he was didn't he ambush Steve McMahon?
Yeah, he kicked the shit out of him.
Vince McMahon. Yeah.
In the hospital, right?
And he put him in the hospital. Or
Yeah.
he was like going out to his car and then Stone Cold comes out of nowhere with
Wasn't
with
he like in hospital?
He was
material?
he was in like a hospital bed and Stone Cold came and fucking beat the shit out of him while he was in the hospital bed.
Nice.
So crazy.
The good days.
I like how Jimmy King just comes out and just kicks the shit out of him with the lid of a porta potty.
Mm-hmm.
He kicked the shit out of Diamond Dallas Page too.
Yeah.
And the guys for being like just kind of fans actually do like mild damage to like these actual wrestlers for a little bit, but then they get overrun. But still,
because they know wrestling moves. Like
like they actually know moves.
he puts David Arquette's character puts like Sinclair in an arm bar, and he's just like trying to make him tap.
This is where he does that cool like. I think Scott Kahn's character comes and slides in, and it does like a leg lock on someone's neck. And it's like, oh shit, that's pretty cool.
They were like, dude, they had great I would say like poise and timing. Like they were like those dudes are ready to go like the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they were fucking locked in. And this is where fucking Sasha comes in and just like puts her fucking claws into him. This was all oblivious, all spectrumed out, didn't even realize that she was hitting on him.
You know, sometimes you don't realize it. I think how at one point when he's at her apartment, and I think she takes off her shirt. He's like foreign objects.
Oh, yeah,
Hits her with the fucking. Oh, such a wild movie.
It's funny. I don't know. That scene is the scene I remember most from this movie. Just some dude fucking just getting terrified of titties and just fucking punching her across the face. And then he writes a postcard to his dad about it.
Yeah, he does. His dad shoots him his fridge.
That's right.
I like how the scene is set up and it makes it look like his dad is like proud of him because he puts the postcard on the refrigerator and he
Yeah.
steps away and then he pulls out his gun and just starts
And
blasting.
lights it up. Fucking A, dude.
He doesn't even hit the postcard.
He's a horrible shot.
He's
he's
a
a real bad
horrible.
shot.
Horrible shot. That's pretty funny. Did you guys suspect? I mean, we've seen the movie before, but maybe it's because I've seen it. But I was like, man, this chick is like kind of obviously like with this move for intel.
I didn't see it until it happened until she's on the phone later on.
Because
when
the
in hospital.
question she asked him, he's like, "Oh, we're doing." He's like, "Oh yeah, we're taking the to Sal Bandini's place. He's like a real pro." And she's like, "Oh, who'd you Sal Bandini? You say?" Like she's always like double checking,
repeating.
Prying.
yeah, repeating, yeah, making sure that like.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she asked a lot of like prying questions, which I mean, I guess it could just be a sign that she's interested in what he's talking about, but
Or she's a spy.
or she's a spy.
I learned a lot from The Sopranos.
Mm,
hmm
nice.
When
A lot
someone
of
starts,
spies in Sopranos.
when people start repeating what you're saying, you stop talking to them because they could be wearing a wire.
That makes
Street
sense. Sam.
knowledge.
Street
Mhm.
knowledge. And then Sal Bandini's a beast.
I want to wrestle. Dude, he's so good at what he does. He's all bomb. He took out like 6 children before the dudes get there. Then he takes on both of those dudes.
Those kids are all fucked up too.
Then
Yeah.
later on, he takes on both of those other 2 like actual
Dudes?
wrestling guys. Yeah, the like big dudes. He's a beast.
I mean, they only beat him because they like broke a chair on his back.
And his intro is really funny too because it makes it seem like he's like this like dark, like brooding character. And he's like, "Hi, I want to wrestle." Like he's just so friendly.
Yeah, he does a good job. He has that real like old school vibe to him.
Yeah,
And he
like an
kicks the shit out of like
old school like wrestling coach.
yeah.
Like he's giddy about being violent.
He's like from the aw shucks era.
Yeah,
Shenanigans.
shenaniganizing.
Oh, so one thing I thought was hilarious when he goes and meets Sasha. This popped in my head, and he's like, the flower shop was closed, so he just gives her a bundle of bananas.
Sometimes you gotta pivot.
That's
That's quick
honestly,
thinking.
I feel like that's better than flowers. Flowers are gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You give bananas for potassium.
I mean, I saw that and I was like that's not like that's an objectively bad gift. Like, I don't think too many girls would be like, "Oh, thanks, a bundle of bananas." But it's definitely like a useful gift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that next time I go out with someone. I'm gonna bring them a bundle of bananas,
Bring the bananas.
and I'll let you know if it goes over well or not.
I mean, it'd be funny. This who eats what? Were they eating sushi? And they're eating noodles, and he's just like stabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's like, he has one stick in each hand and he's like trying to hold it up.
I always forget that not everybody can use chopsticks.
But like, that's what I'm talking about. How the movie flies by so fast. So like, he goes to train with Sal Bandini.
Mm.
He trains with him one time, one scene of them training, and then he's like immediately taken out. And then the next scene, they're at like the pay-per-view. Like that happens within 10 minutes of the movie.
Hmm. True.
Oh no, that's not true. I forget they
No,
go
the
they go
the
back
Party happens.
they go back to Wyoming to like
Yeah.
to go down to basics, and they build that like wrestling ring out of mattresses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's after the party too, right?
That goes party, then Bandini, because they're in the party. Jimmy the King's like, I'm gonna fucking die,
yeah.
and he like
Yeah,
runs
he's freaking
away.
out. Yeah.
And then they find him in like a sewage hole because like they know they're sewers because of their job.
Yeah.
They know exactly which where he washed up on. Fucking Bandini. I love the whole when he goes, wait, can you get me a Butterfinger? When they give Bandini the Butterfinger, he fucking hits him. He's like, dude, my Butterfinger, and it's all broken. What an era, dude. Back when Butterfingers are the new hotness. Like no one eats Butterfingers anymore.
I try to
True.
stay away from all milk chocolate candies now. My tummy is too sensitive.
Mm. Makes sense.
That makes sense. Damn, even milk chocolate has too much dairy.
Yeah. I had a Reese's peanut butter cup maybe like a month ago.
Just a single one?
Just a single one from a 2-pack. I had to give the second one away because
Fuck.
it just hurt my tummy too much.
Damn. I think they make the dark chocolate ones now, though.
Ooh, okay.
I know
But-
for sure. I think you live by a Trader Joe's. They have like their version that has dark chocolate.
Oh yeah, I've had those. Those are really good.
Yeah,
They
those are
don't hit
pretty
the
good.
same as like a milk chocolate, but I do like dark chocolate though.
They do not.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate can be a little bitter, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh man,
Go.
it's a struggle.
Let's go, dude.
So where are we going?
I'm
Fucking go.
struggling. This movie's a
You wanna
struggle.
go?
I like this movie, but not a lot happens in it.
Yeah. There, I mean, you can definitely feel the downtime during the downtime.
I don't even think there's that much downtime. Like all the most important parts of this movie are the wrestling matches. And like the last match is like just the last 30 minutes of the movie is just one huge wrestling match.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the cool parts are the wrestling.
Yeah, the in-between parts are kind of like
The in between kind of like drags. Like it's I mean it moves, but it drags at the same time. To me, that's
like
what
nothing really happens.
yeah. Like small thing, like small exposition pieces occur. It's not like
Like Gordy going
point.
back when they get home and just all of a sudden deciding to be a cop like makes no sense.
yeah.
Like he's so dedicated, and then his dad's like, "Nah, you're gonna be a cop," and he just decides to like do
Be a
it
cop.
then when they're
Yeah.
like everything's on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's like finally working out for them, and he's like, "Nah, cop time."
Cop time.
Mhm.
It's like, what? Why?
Even after he said that like all these bad things happened, did we even talk about the truck flipping?
No,
Nah.
that was pretty funny.
We just we like skimmed through all of that.
The main
Like-
reason why they went on their quest.
Yeah, I think it begins.
That was the main reason, huh?
Yeah,
well, it begins when what's his name goes into the porta potty, and then when Sean goes into the porta potty, and then Gordy sucks the porta potty, but Sean was like, if you do it when I'm in there, something bad's gonna happen to King,
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
and then he sucks him, and then the King fight happens, King loses, and then their truck flips, and then they're like, dude, it's a sign, like we need to go help King in order to like make all this positive stuff happen again in our life. And then somehow later on, his dad coming in is just like, yo, you got to be a cop now. And he just kind of completely forgets about the whole quest.
Makes no sense. I like how his reasoning though is like, don't you think it's a little too coincidental that King lost and our truck flipped the same day? I'm like, how are those related at all? Like, what's the coincidence there? What's the coincidence? You were crying while driving, and then what you're not supposed to do, like fucking pull over. They're fucking allergies, and then he fucking just crashed the car. Oh man, I'm surprised those cops didn't shoot him after they fucking get their truck like gets hit by that semi with all the toilet paper and they just get blasted in the face with sewage.
Yeah.
That felt like first degree worthy. I guess it'd be manslaughter, huh? It'd be a crime of passion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That was fucked. Did you notice in that scene that the cop and the firefighter look very wet, but the other two look kind of dry?
No.
I did not notice
No, I
that.
didn't.
I thought it was weird. I was like, because the cops are like dripping and they look damp, but they both got hit with the sewage. I'm like, how come they're both not all super soaked?
Interesting.
What do you think of his posse? Fireman Fred, the Chewer, and Pretty Kitty.
Solid posse.
I like the Chewer.
You like the chewer?
That dude is funny. he just has no teeth and he just has chewing tobacco. It's like hilarious. They could have they could have called him like Hillbilly something. Tobacco John. But the Chewer though. It's a horror. I didn't even know you could just get random people to wrestle for you. Like you don't have to be sanctioned. You can just bring some randoms.
I guess so. Maybe
I
things are
don't.
different.
Yeah.
WCW.
Also, this is a movie.
True. True. But
Yeah,
they've been pretty good about the wrestling up until this point.
that's true.
Also, but they don't even wrestle. They like come out with him, and then when like shit hits the fan and he needs backup, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then his actual posse comes in.
Mhm.
Yeah, led by Goldberg. They
Mhm.
try to recruit while they're working out, and Goldberg basically tells them like, "You guys are cool. Jimmy the King's the asshole. You probably shouldn't hang out with that guy."
Mhm. But they still
Goldberg
commit them.
seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's like seems like a really cool dude.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the beginning, like he realizes like, oh shit, what's going on with Sinclair and DDP? Like we're up to some shady shit. Because he sees them talking and he looks at them walk away and he has a face like, what the fuck was that all about?
Mhm.
And then King gets beaten and he's like looking and he's like, oh shit, that's what they were talking about. Because it didn't sit right with them.
Yeah.
Fucking Goldberg. Goldberg was cool. And then Sean's just big pimping. He just bangs the fast food chick.
Oh, in the RV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn.
Because he gets her a T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the Hard Rock Cafe in New
Yeah.
York. And he basically tells her that he likes her. He's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's always been really cool. And she's like, yep. That's all it took.
And this is
Simpler
like
times.
basically like the end of all of the other stories.
Pretty much.
So like King reconciles with his wife, and they're just like it's like the final wrap up of all of that other stuff, and then they go do the final wrestling match.
That's right. That's right. Because he tells her he's going to do right by her.
Mhm.
There's 6 instances where someone gets kicked in the nuts in this movie, and King gets kicked in the nuts 3 of those times.
Damn.
His wife does it twice in the 3.
I like the bloopers at the end.
The bloopers are funny.
Mm-hmm.
People recover from getting hit in the nuts super fast in this movie. It's been a while since I've been kicked
Not
in the nuts,
realistic.
but that shit will like lingers
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
it
a
does.
while.
I had an ex who would just nut tap or like nut kick, and it was painful.
Like,
Painful time.
Your poor balls.
I know.
we know that's like called abuse, right? There's a hotline for that.
Thank you. That part of my life is over. I've survived.
You survived a lot of trauma, dude. You gotta start following your horoscope closer. All right, let's wrap it up. Because we just get this crazy fucking triple cage match, which is fucking hype, dude. A cage on a cage on a cage is like such
That
a
was pretty
fucking,
crazy.
I was like, damn, what a fucking wild place to have a final showdown.
For real.
It
I
was
read
pretty
that
sick.
because I honestly don't remember a triple cage match
Happened
happening
3
before.
times.
And I read
remember
that
it.
yeah, read that it
Yeah.
has happened.
Damn. I didn't think that was a real thing.
Twice for a pay-per-view and then once on a Monday Night Nitro.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, I mean, it
And that
looks,
Monday Night Nitro must have been lit.
dude, that shit looks hella dangerous.
For real.
It's like fucking huge. Like, holy shit. Fucking triple cager for the belt.
Like so, and it's funny too because later when they get to the top and he gets pushed off, then they're on the outside, and then they have start like an outside battle, but it starts all inside like a cake.
Yeah, it's like a cake.
Yeah,
He has to beat his child first.
Yeah, he does.
He does actually have to. Yeah.
I love the drama though, getting his own kid to like fight against him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets mobbed and he just goes like full on Jackie Chan and just gets like a ladder and just starts like bombing on people with the fucking ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck yeah. That's a mad weapon right there.
For real.
And then Gordy comes in to save the day, right?
All clutch on a fucking motorcycle, just sneaks in a fucking motorcycle out of nowhere. Just
He
zooming
becomes-
through security.
And we meet his new wrestling name, or his I mean, he created this character. I guess at one point he decided like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be I don't need to be like a cop. I can be a wrestling cop.
Yep. I forget what they call him at the end.
The law.
The law.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
King gives him that nickname.
Mhm.
I will bust you.
And his dad's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. His dad gets all hyped. I mean, that was a pretty hype scene when he just like goes off the ramp and like breaks through the fence to like Goldberg and like Booker T and all those dudes go in to like back up the King.
And he actually does some damage like once he's in the ring. I think forget who he wrestles, but he wrestles a couple of dudes and
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah,
good.
he spears someone.
yeah, oh yeah,
he
spears
saves
someone.
the king.
Oh,
Yeah.
he spears the king's kid.
Yeah.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
They
I think
go-
Goldberg's like, hey, good tackle. She's like, thanks.
He's that good spear kid, and he's like, I'm not a kid.
Oh yeah.
What about fucking Khan's fucking outfit in that all red fucking pimp suit though? Like, that was a fucking choice.
John's Sugar Daddy Dawkins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sugar Daddy Dawkins. Some white dude, some small white dude in a pimp suit. Cultural appropriation at its best right there.
This is their manager. At least
I
he
mean,
knows strengths.
That is
you
a
know?
that is a manager ass fucking
Manager
get
outfit.
up in
Yeah.
wrestling
is.
if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
But the cage match between DDP and King when they get to the like second and third level were pretty sick.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't he get he
It
gets
felt-
kicked from the top down to the first?
Yeah.
He gets slammed through.
Well,
All three
DDP
levels.
does, but before that, King gets kicked off, and then remember
Oh yeah.
DDP's gonna grab it, and then Sting comes out of nowhere,
Mhm.
and he fucking
Right.
he kicks DDP down, and then he talks to Sugar Daddy Dawkins, and he's like, he's a King's always been good by my book, and he's like, you love King, I love King, we both love other men, and that's okay. And Sting's like, what the fuck?
He just punches him.
That's right. And that's
Yeah,
what
the
Gordy's like, me next, me
fucking-
next.
Yeah.
I will say this for King. We haven't really talked about it, except for me mentioning how I used to just crown all my friends back in the day. We would just crown each other. That was one of the worst, lamest, like finishing moves of all time.
Yeah.
Crowning someone?
Just jumping from like the top rope just to like bonk someone on the head with like a closed fist. Like not even that creative.
Says you.
I mean, it sounds cool, like crown him.
I mean,
Is
it
it
was
a
so
king?
cool that you would do it to the homies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just. I think it's because
movie.
none of us were like physically capable of choke slamming somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's for the kids.
For the
Yeah.
kids, it's child safe. It's parental
Yeah.
approved.
I think the last time I choke slammed someone was in a pool. Like, you know, like choke slam from outside inside.
Mhm.
But we got to get a pool party going so we can choke slam each other into it. That sounds like fun.
Just fucking stone cold stunner someone into a pool,
Yeah.
just kick them in the nuts, and then just fucking try to break their neck. That's such a wild move now that I think about it. Then the fucking dude getting slammed through all three layers. That fucking
How he's not dead. It's
at
beyond me.
least fucking paralyzed.
Yeah. I read that in another fight, another guy actually got like,
Paralyzed.
paralyzed from that happening.
Oh
But-
shit.
Did he really get paralyzed, or 'cause
Yeah,
it
he
says
really got
paralyzed in
paralyzed.
parentheses? Oh, he did. Oh, crazy.
Yeah, all the like money that Arquette made from like
Uh-huh.
doing those WCW appearances, he donated to that dude and to Owen Hart's family who like passed away.
Oh, damn.
So
Damn.
he gave all his money to them. He didn't take any home.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he is a fan at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he admitted too, he thought it was like a bad idea to do these promotions, but like
Mhm.
they just kept pushing it on him. And he's like, all right, fine, I'm convinced. But he's like, I don't know, man. He's like, as a fan, I would think this is kind of dumb.
And
Yeah.
the fans actually hated it.
They hated it.
Yeah.
Like, it's often credited as like the last nail in the coffin for WCW.
Imagine being that guy, like being a wrestling fan, and then being considered the reason why the WCW failed. That would hurt
Fuck.
my heart, my
Heart.
heart, my
I
soul.
mean, he did all right. He went on to do more appearances with the WWE, so it's all good.
yeah, I mean that's true.
That's it. They win. King gets his crown back, $1 million. And then Gordy and Dawkins are now wrestlers.
Well, one's a
Manager.
Oh, manager. That's
Yeah.
true. One's a manager. And then they go and assault that convenience store like by throwing him through a door.
they do actually. They just go beat the shit out of him,
Like no reason.
and then they ride off in a limo that has a hot tub.
Oh yeah, with Sal Bandini. That's right.
Mhm.
The end.
What a happy ending.
That's a wild
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
Came full circle.
watching this after coming off of David Lynch,
Oh, it was a nice palate cleanse, I think,
it was such a
because
change.
it's such a simple movie.
It is, yeah. From an early time. I think we were 9. I was 9 when this movie came out.
I was either 9 or 10,
Yeah.
depending on
Yeah.
like what month it came out in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a baby.
Baby.
I gave most of my interesting facts during the recording, but I guess the King was based off of Ric Flair and Jerry the King Lawler.
Mm,
You guys remember Jerry the
That's
King?
cool.
I remember
Oh,
Ric Flair.
yeah, I just remember
Jerry
Ric
the
Flair.
King, when during our era, he was the announcer guy for WWF. He'd be like, "Oh my God, look at those tatas!" He was that guy, always talking
Oh.
about wanting the titties
Oh.
because he was a big wrestler in the '80s, and then he became the announcer guy, the like commentator.
That's
Okay.
cool.
And this movie was a mad bomb. Cost 24 mil to make, and it only made 12 million.
Damn.
Nobody. But it like it was also competing against WWF at that point in time, right? So like I read
By
that
this
Attitude Era.
time, the Attitude Era kicked off, yeah, and like
Yeah.
WCW was struggling
Yeah.
because WWF bought him a year after the movie came out.
Hmm.
They got the rights to everything, and they just dropped the WCW name.
Yeah.
That's how you see like Goldberg and like Rey Mysterio and like the Big Show and all them went to the WWF.
Hmm.
Do you guys have any more interesting facts?
Mm-mm.
No, this is one of our slower records.
Yeah.
Watching on Twitch is probably taking a nap.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I feel like usually the movies that I guess we'll see our scores though, but like are unanimously like pretty bad. Like when we did like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey and shit.
Mhm.
Those records are a little hard to get to. And I actually like this movie. I think my grade's definitely on the higher side. I was like, damn, talking about this movie, I'm like, nothing really happens in this movie.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean, it's very kind of hyper focused on the one big event.
Yeah. It's a pretty cut and dry film. Which
It's
is
way
interesting.
more just fan service movie for
It is a
Yeah.
fan service movie, yeah.
for WCW specifically, and like that's kind of it.
Although I do like all the actors in it.
Yeah, it had a pretty good cast.
It did.
It was a
feel-
flashback for sure. Like
Oh yeah. It was a nostalgia filled ride for sure.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is nice after covering like Inland Empire, which was like really, really hard movie to get through. Then watching
Yeah.
this, I was like, oh, it's a nice palate cleanse. This is a very easy, simple to digest movie.
yeah,
All right, should we get into our reviews?
run it.
All right. So this movie has horrible ratings. Rotten Tomato gives it a 23%, which isn't the lowest we've covered, but it's pretty low. And then IMDb has it at a 5.4. I'll start this off because I was banging for this movie when we got it last week. So I actually gave this movie a kind of a high score, I feel like, but nostalgia field, I gave it a B minus. Subjective all around. I still enjoy this movie. I loved WCW as a kid. The comedy aspect of this movie, I feel, is actually not that funny. There's only a couple moments that I thought were funny in this movie.
Hmm.
But all the wrestling aspects, which I feel like make up a good chunk of the movie, I still enjoy to this day, and kind of made me reminisce about a simpler time in my life when I was really into WCW. So I was like, oh man, this movie was a cool little blast from the past. Is it a good movie? No, not by any means. It's not a good movie. But did I personally enjoy it? Yeah, I did personally enjoy it, but I thought the comedy was gonna be a lot more dated. It's not. It's just not funny. Like I don't think it
Yeah.
was funny then, and it's not that funny now.
Yeah,
But I do like the wrestling aspect.
Yeah.
But the story itself was pretty one note, pretty simple. For this movie being a B minus, would I recommend it to people? Probably not. Like I feel like this movie is very much a movie of its time period. If you didn't grow up watching this era of wrestling, I don't think you would get much out of this movie. Because it's a comedy movie, and I don't feel like it's super funny. It's very much like adolescent dude comedy.
hmm
Which can be funny to certain people. Maybe if you're like in that age group, you'd probably still think it's funny. Or if you like wrestling in general, you'd probably enjoy it. But like a lot of these guys aren't wrestlers anymore. Like they're all retired and stuff. So like if you don't know the wrestlers, it might be a little harder to follow. But the wrestling was cool. The story was just a basic, simple story. I liked Sinclair as a bad guy. I thought the acting from him and from the guy who played Jimmy the King and Sal Bandini, those three were pretty good. Arquette and Khan were like okay. Arquette, like Twan said earlier, was kind of a lot sometimes. And I feel like Scott Khan just plays the same character in every single movie that he's in. So like it was just Scott Khan. Like that's who's just being the normal who he is. So B minus. If you like wrestling, if you're a WCW fan and you want to see them make a movie, check it out. If you're not a wrestling fan and you don't like this like teen adolescent comedy, then I think you could skip it. What about you, Twan?
Um, this movie was definitely a love letter to wrestling and its fans, and it hit a nostalgia factor for me, for sure. You know, like we were saying, it came out in 2000. I was like 8 or 9 at the time. Back then, I really banged for this movie because of the fact that I was into wrestling. But since since I lost that joy that wrestling brought me, I think it was a little bit more difficult to get into the movie this time around. I remember when we were talking about this movie last week, you were saying how like the jokes might be dated. I agree with you where they're not dated, they're just not funny. And I don't know if I can attribute that to like me not being a child anymore. I feel like if you show this movie to kids that are into wrestling, like they'll like this movie. Um, it's very niche. This movie had its moments, but I think as a whole, it wasn't like you said. It's not that good of a movie. It kind of felt like a big budget movie with the writing of like a slapstick comedy. It didn't really fit. But yeah, I mean, it's an hour 47. Like we've said, it kind of goes by fast, but at the same time, it feels sluggish only because nothing really happens. Like not too many things happen throughout this movie. Would I recommend this movie? If you're a fan of wrestling, definitely. Especially that era of wrestling. Um, this might be controversial, but if you're an extra chromie homie, you definitely will enjoy this movie. It's just too niche. It's too niche of a film, and it's like you won't like it if you don't like wrestling. So yeah, I give this movie a C.
A C.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
I can't argue with those points. Saya,
Yeah.
finish us off. I think after
I,
Saya finishes, I think I know what this film's missing.
I think it's hard to add. I don't think I have anything more to add. Actually gave this movie a D plus.
Ooh, I knew he'd be all over the place on this movie.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. Like I found like the humor to me, the funniest humor to me was like the wrestling pieces or like the actual like physical like when Sal Bandini like comes out from a trap door, he's like, "Want to wrestle?" Like that shit was hilarious. Way more like slapstick, like funny body humor comedy. Like that's what I enjoyed more than like the jokes. I felt like the dialogue was pretty whatever. Feels a little bit dated. They make like a ton of like anti-gay jokes. But it I feel like they like they play with that a little bit more, right? Like as it goes along, and at the very end, he's like, "It's okay to say that you love another man," which was funny considering everything else they had said up until that point. But I don't know, like the story like dragged when it wasn't wrestling. Like this is for sure just a wrestling movie. If you like wrestling, you're gonna like this. So tentative recommend, like only to people who actually enjoy wrestling or people that want like a little bit of nostalgia hit that grew up in this era of like wrestling and they watched it. But yeah, this one didn't really hit for me. Gotta be honest with myself and with the world.
That's totally fair.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
I mean, I had nothing but negatives. My entire rating is based on the fact that like when you see Gordon Ramsay's like, "Oh, this dish remind me of my mom." It's like, oh, this movie reminded me of my childhood, like in a part of my life that was like super cool. So I was like,
Yeah.
I got that nostalgia hit, but like
Yeah.
it's not a good movie. It's just
Yeah.
not. The problem I think this movie has is that there's no conflict. Like whenever there's any like the heroes have to overcome anything, they just do it so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like getting Jimmy, he runs away, they convince him pretty immediately. Sasha being a spy, they find out about it like almost immediately. Like, and then like
Yeah.
that's it. It doesn't actually really have any, doesn't really do anything to the characters. It doesn't stop them in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Sal Bandini
Maybe-
getting taken out doesn't affect Jimmy at all. They just have to go to the hospital and be like, damn, that sucks, Sal. We're gonna win it for you.
True. Oh yeah, and then when Gordy gets picked up by his dad, they still continue on the quest anyway. And
Yeah,
then
they're
Gordy
like,
comes back
damn,
in.
can't believe you left us. All right, no worries, you do you.
Yeah. And that's a good catch.
Like
And Gordy
there's no
he does
stakes.
help. He helps later, but even then, I feel like they would have still figured out a way to get in there.
That was more of a redeeming factor for him to get over his own battles, I feel like, than necessarily helping Jimmy
like
King.
detrimental to the group. Yeah.
Yeah, it was him like fighting his own inner battle with doing what he loved and not what his parents wanted him to do.
Yeah. That's a good catch.
All right. Let's wheel it and deal it. Thank you for that palate cleanse, Will, but give us something with some meat on the bones.
Hell yeah. I got a ad for the list. I don't remember if we have it on there, but do we have Megan on here?
We do not.
The one that recently came out?
The one that recently came out. It's like technically now considered a cult classic.
Really?
People ride hard for Megan. They ride so hard that she got a whole new movie coming out too.
Well, didn't it do well?
Did well, and I don't know. People ride hard for it. If you guys think not, then
Well, we're called classic V movies and horror, so we could throw it on there.
okay.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah,
Have you
You
guys
don't
seen
have-
it?
I haven't.
I have.
We don't have that much new stuff on here, anyways.
I also feel like it's hard to like for the most part, like cult classic movies get a cult following after some point in time of being out, right? So it's like it's hard for us to catch those new movies. Like this one, I wouldn't have thought of that until I like heard like, oh no, this is like people ride hard for that movie.
Well, it's getting a sequel,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
I think this is the week, dude. I think this is it. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I'm looking forward to watching this movie this week. Finally,
Mac
What,
and me?
Ed Wood?
I know, me too.
Pulse,
We've
Pulse.
been teased by Ed Wood so much.
Pulse.
We
Pulse,
have.
Pulse.
I'm like
We're edging Ed Wood.
edging, just leaking all over the place.
The visuals.
It needs to be picked. Someone get me a hot tub. Make money on Twitch right now.
And I got a hot tub.
Oh, all right. So Pulse, what are you calling?
Mac and me.
Mac and me.
Back in me.
I think we are going to get I'm saying Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If we don't get, I want like a good story. At least
You want,
that.
you want a story driven movie? Yeah, I want something that's like good.
Yeah. I want something good too. I would love Pulse, but if not Pulse, I just want like a good story. So
Let's see what we get. Give me something with some story.
some
Want some
substance,
drama.
some fucking. I want to
Not David Lynch though. Don't fucking give me like Lost Highway or some shit. What are we getting? I don't see Pulse anywhere near here. We're gonna get Plan 9 from outer space, you fucking surf ninjas.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Josie and the
Fucking
Pussycat.
surf ninjas, dude.
Surf
Surf
Ninjas.
ninjas. The exact opposite of what we asked for.
Ah,
I know.
Surf ninjas. Who put this one on here?
no idea.
Surf ninjas. Let me fucking add it.
Wait, really? We don't know who put that on there?
Mm-mm.
Nice. Let's go. I don't even know what this movie's about. Have you guys seen this movie?
Never even heard of
Yeah.
this movie. You've
Oh, you
seen
seen
it?
it?
I've seen it once with Adam.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's a 1993 movie. Let's go. We got Rob Schneider. We got Leslie Nielsen. That's it. Oh, we got Tone Loc. Let's go. Tone Loc making a return.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us this week as we covered the 2000 cult classic Ready to Rumble. I got a super tentative recommend from us. Got a B- from myself, a C from Twan, and a D+ from Saya. The consensus between us is not a good movie, but if you're a wrestling fan, check it out. Join us next week as we cover another cult classic, 1993's Surf Ninjas. We'll see if the wheel gave us a diamond in the rough or if it's going to be another slog. We'll find out. But if you guys want to support the pod, you can do so by clicking the donation link at the bottom of each episode. If you can't donate, that's totally cool. We love making the pod. We love joining you guys each week. If you haven't done so already, give us a follow on our social medias. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X/Twitter. And now live on Twitch. Wait, did I say YouTube? We're also on YouTube.
YouTube.
Twitch.
Catch you guys next week. As always, I've been your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Adios.
and Twan.
Bye.
Catch you guys next week. Bye.